after this, the price definitely gotta go up. Yeah. What you expect? Told you I wanted, I got it.
All right, we are finally here. Part 6 of our 6 NBA versus NBA edition. I keep messing that up. If you have gotten here, that means that you probably have watched something of the other 5. Watch all of them. Watch our bonus. Subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the website. This one is the reason why we recorded this to begin with. We had a very spirited debate in our group chat about this matchup in particular. I have seen it all over the place. It is probably one of the biggest comparisons that you'll get right now. Ironically speaking, in a position that has been very much altered, since the days of us growing up, for sure. But it's definitely a good one, nevertheless. And again, like we had with the Trae Young one, we definitely got a little bit of a personal bit here in this one between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. And so if I remember correctly from what I was saying, I was trying to play a little bit of both sides of it. I was saying it depends on what you need. Obviously, Embiid, has more usage. He shoots a little bit more. He does a little bit more for his team in terms of a scoring output and being like the primary scoring option. So if I had a team where I needed that, I would take him. But obviously the system that Jokic plays in is a little bit more, they have, kind of more weapons that they want to get scoring, especially Jamal Murray. And so his numbers obviously look a little bit better to his strengths in terms of passing. But, it's kind of your traditional argument. They're basically the same size. It looks like from COVID, Jokic shed a few pounds. So we'll see what we get from that if he's allowed to play. I will say that if a gun is put to my head, I'm probably taking Jokic. But I know this is going to be a really controversial one of these, so I will pass it on and let the passion floweth.
All right, let's get it. All right, so let me start off by saying Embiid is the best big man in the NBA at this moment. Embiid is a dominant big man. Embiid has shown day in, day out that no matter what, he's just kind of prepared for it all. He's prepared for any big man. And he's better than Jokic when it comes to the scoring ability. The passing ability I will give to Jokic, but we're not going to sit here and act like Embiid just some scrub in passing. Rebounding, as far as aggressiveness, not up for debate. Embiid's a grown man. Jokic is that style of European that, they're good, but there's no shade to it. But it's a soft game. It's a soft game. He's not willing to get down and dirty when it comes to the trenches with Embiid. And when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, dude's not just running into Embiid thinking it's sweet. Dude's not just rising up on Embiid. Jokic is down there. He's like just a little deer. You know what I'm saying? Get down there and go dunk on him or something like that. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as the world is concerned, Embiid is bar none the best big man in the game right now. Dominant.
So to just I kind of had my counterpunch halfway through yours, but then you said something that I had to hit on that first. My problem with Embiid is that he doesn't get down and dirty. My problem with Embiid isn't that he doesn't dominate every center in the league. He doesn't dominate them. He doesn't dominate everyone in the league. If you're 7 foot, you're dominating other 7-footers, you should be dominating Giannis too. And to see Giannis kind of expose him the way he did last year in the paint, outside the paint, defensively, I kind of like fell off the Embiid bandwagon. And then to hit on just, I'm not even the biggest Stephen A. fan. I pay much respect to him. I hope to even be looked at for half his, IQ of the game one day. Your best ability is availability. If you're not on the court, I can't do nothing with you. Jokic has played over 75 plus games 3 times in 5 years. Embiid hasn't played 65 games yet. I can't keep wasting my time saying trust the process when for 2 years I had to wait for a 7-footer's right bone to be fixed in his foot. How long does that take?
Those foot things are crazy though.
Yeah, man.
KD tore his Achilles and he was going for a year. All right, and he's going for a year. Adrian Peterson was already rushing. He rushed for what? 1,200 after he came back?
Adrian Peterson is not a human being, dog.
Okay, Adrian Peterson is a robot, so take that one out. But I can't go for Embiid just still with the, it's this doesn't feel good tonight or this doesn't. I need you on the court, sir. And that goes back to my point about the PG and Kawhi thing. PG has had some injury bugs, and he has had some accidents where have sat him down for a while. But when PG's healthy, PG's out there. When's the last time you honestly could say Kawhi was healthy? When's the last time you honestly could say Embiid was healthy for a stint of time? For a stint of time that was valuable to the team at that put that team in a place where you're like, Embiid put them there.
I do think I do. Well, so wait, I will slide in there and give Embiid some shine here. I do think where the Sixers are is, and maybe this is just my Ben Simmons disrespect that I can do a whole video on. I have that ready to go.
Yeah.
I do think where the Sixers are is because Embiid. I think that's pretty obvious. I will continue to say that I don't know if it's not to say they can't fit together. But we've had this conversation enough in the group chat that I think a lot of people are willing to just throw Brett Brown under the bus for that. But yeah, I mean, I think where they are right now is because of Embiid. I don't know if that's to say that if Jokic was in that similar situation that they would get over the hump. But I think that's maybe where coaching comes into play, being able to do that. I mean, I know we talk about the shot all the time, that they should have had that then. And, I mean, they have the bubble right now. They can definitely, they have just as rightful of a claim to the East as, the Bucks and the Raptors do. So we'll see what happens there, especially Embiid coming in his little, jacket shit. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a really interesting conversation between the two of them because – I think they're both really talented and they both really bring a lot to their teams. It's just a little bit different in terms of what they're asked to do.
I think the only thing, honestly, that I would give, not the only thing, but one thing I would definitely say is probably the biggest difference between the two is IQ. Jokic IQ is definitely, well beyond Embiid. I think I saw Embiid playing basketball and comparing his IQ with Helen Keller one time. And, it shows in his game. It definitely shows in his game because he's just not the most intelligent player. But then you also got to take consideration he just started playing basketball. When you put things in, so at the end of the day, if he just started playing basketball, this is what he's doing right now. Embiid, let's be real, is just overweight. Bro, you need to lose some of this weight because it's fat. Not saying he's fat. It's just you have too much fat on your body to be running up and down this court saying that you have, a bad foot. Hopefully everything is healed. But at the end of the day, once, you lose that weight, you're even more dominant. And then you said something about what is he doing to the best centers in the game. I mean, listen, I don't have the statistics right in front of me, but I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, you can ask him. he can reiterate what Joel can do against some of the best centers in the league. This past season, if I'm not mistaken, he gave Anthony Davis some work. I mean, he knows how to put in the work. The biggest thing is, and this is a whole different discussion, is just how him and Ben Simmons can mesh. The reason the Sixers are where they are is 100% because of Joel Embiid. The reason
Yeah.
why a lot of times Joel Embiid also can kind of see downhill, he gets too much in his head. Jimmy Butler messed him up last season. Once they added Jimmy Butler, it was like he didn't know what to do. He can act like a little child.
Jimmy everybody ain't supposed to be Jimmy Butler teammate though. Everybody ain't supposed. Jimmy Butler ain't
No.
everybody.
I agree. I think Jimmy Butler is a great player, and I agree. And I think that that's what's wrong with Embiid's mentality. But I think that will come in the maturity. I think he's probably 24, 25, maybe a little bit older, but he acts like he's 19 years old. Once everything kind of catches up and that skill catches up with the maturity, I'm telling you, he is dominant. And I think Jokic is good, but I don't think Jokic will consistently do this for the rest of his career. As long as Joel stays this dominant, he will be the breath of fresh air that every 7-footer wants to see.
I will give you that. I know, I've watched the TNT crew a lot, just I think like everybody has. And I know, I think Chuck and Shaq have both been really hard on Embiid in terms of saying like, yo, you have the ability to be wildly dominant. Like if you just like put it all together and focus. And I think that's coming from both of them from example of, maybe not necessarily always being as focused in their careers too. And so I would very much agree with that in this. I think if the question was about who has the bigger ceiling, yeah, Embiid all day. And I think if he got some of the, and not to say he can't be childish. I mean, Shaq was childish his entire career. And maybe that was kind of the problem with Shaq, like, because another video for another day, but I will argue Shaq against anybody any day of the week. But I think, yeah, if Embiid can like get serious and put it all together, I mean, yeah, in that sense, I don't think anybody can touch him. But for right now, I mean, I think there's a little bit more of a discussion, but he definitely has the higher ceiling for sure. I won't argue that at all.
His ceiling is definitely higher than Jokic, and I think him knowing that his ceiling is so high leads to his immaturity sometimes, because a part of being immature is just rushing things, that's one of the traits that gets associated with immaturity, not having the patience to build something. And as he would say, trust the process. And to be honest with you, I don't think this is the best process. I hope it's not the best process because I see what he can be. But like I said, attempted 5 to 6 threes a game, shooting 30%. I've seen analysts, dismantle Russell Westbrook for shooting like that. And this is my 7-foot big man shooting these. So if he's shooting these, then you're not getting rebounds. Oh, I can't have that. No, I can't have that. And Jokic may shoot them too. But one thing Jokic will also do, as we said, he has that IQ to say, not this one. Not this one, make the pass. Not this one, wait a minute, make the pass, or however. But IQ plays a factor into my decision very much so. And immaturity, I don't have time for that. I base these decisions on, I'm building a team. Who would I pick between the two? We're standing at the park. Give me that one,
Yeah.
Sir, I'm trying to win right now. I'm not trying to play here and watch anime and eat cheeseburgers while getting a massage. I'm trying to win. And Jokic showing me he just dropped 40, 30 pounds, whatever. That's that mentality I needed to see.
Yeah, and to be, I was saying too with the advanced stats. I mean, I don't go into the stuff I don't understand, but like usage rate is definitely something that's like very easy to understand. Like who is more of a priority in the offense, who gets like kind of first dibs at the buckets, basically. And I mean, Embiid has more, he shoots more. Jokic is maybe the more efficient of the scorers, quote unquote. And maybe that's not something that Jokic can do anything about. But, yeah, I would 100% agree that, like, right now, it's a little bit more of a conversation for sure. But definitely if Embiid can get it all together, it's through the roof for sure. I mean, he might – looking at the stats, I think Jokic's stats are a little bit better from three, but, like, Embiid definitely has the ability to, like, surpass him for sure on that.
Yeah. I won't even
I would
argue
love
that.
to see. I mean, I know they lost JJ, but I would love to see if they didn't have a scoring point guard, at least something like that, and to see how that played. I know you tried with Markel, but like I would love to see how that would work with Embiid, maybe a little bit more so than Ben Simmons, or just got a coach. But
Well, let me also say this, before we, wrap all this up. I'm gonna say this statement very strongly, and I feel this way. Joel Embiid will have the best playoff performance in the history of the NBA this bubble season.
This bubble season?
I
This
like
bubble.
it.
And the
Yeah.
reason I say that is because, and this is very unorthodox, but the reason I say that is just because Joel Embiid, dude is out of shape. Like, dude is out of shape. He's had 3 months, so he's a fresh body. A fresh Joel Embiid, and we got 8 games to get to the playoffs. So that means he got 8 games to get his body, back in motion and all that. He's going to have the best playoff performance of any big man in the history of the NBA this postseason. And I am
Round 2,
that
he will
stamp it.
He will sit a game out. He will sit a game out in round 2. That is
This is Joel Embiid right here. This is the best playoff performance right here. They're going to come together. Bam. It's a wrap. I'm telling you.
As somebody who can be very old manny and definitely, like harken back to, seeing Shaq and seeing just like a lot of the style of game that I came up on. Not to say, I mean, Embiid has a little bit of a merged game, but if he can be dominant in the way that you're saying, and that we've seen him be able to be, I would certainly love to see that. I mean, again, I'm not like one of the types where it's like, oh, like, screw the Sixers. Like, no, I want to see that. And like, again, I think it would be a lot of things that happen in sports is off of, just narratives, and it would be a really good narrative to see, last year, cool, the shot happened, the buzzer beater, the Raptors went on, and this year that they, got it all together and made it all the way. And I think that'd be a really cool series to see Lakers Sixers. But
30
yeah.
and 15. Those are the numbers I'm calling. 30 and 15.
That is Shaq numbers. Look it up.
I said what I said.
Shaq numbers.
30 and 15 in the playoffs that's dangerous.
30 and 15. He's going to be the most dominant big man in NBA history this playoff series.
All right, so let's just ask a little bonus question. Let me just ask my little bonus question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you're a Sixers fan, you got to trade one right now.
Here we go.
Who's it gonna be?
Goodbye, Ben.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Ben.
Easy.
Goodbye, Ben. It's not much of a discussion. There's no discussion there for me. Goodbye, Ben.
Not a free guard.
I'll be honest with you. Ben wants to win right now.
Don't do that. This is
win.
This is not the hill to die.
Joe doesn't want to win right now.
Bro, you can look at Ben gives up too many turnovers at the worst time to give a turnover.
Ben refused to shoot. He refused to shoot.
I'm not even asking you to shoot. I'm not asking you to shoot. You can't do it. Cool. Just do everything else that you can do. But you're a point guard, and people compared you to Magic Johnson. People are trying to say that you're going to become this great point guard. I will defend him. But at the same time, you ask me this or that. And I'm going to tell you, I'm exposed that. Ben, he turns the ball over at the worst time. Embiid also can turn the ball over. But the difference is, I feel like when Embiid turns the ball over, he knows how to take accountability. He knows, like, damn, I fucked up. Whereas I feel like Ben, dude, we need you to do something. You can't score 0 points in the playoffs and have 8 turnovers. You cannot do that. You can't give up the ball with 30 seconds to go. We're playing the Celtics. You already not giving us nothing offensively, but Joel's having a monster game, and you get the ball plucked at half court. Come on, bro. You can't do that.
I like Ben a lot. I like Ben's size. I like what Ben can do. Maybe Ben does need to go. Maybe Ben needs a team surrounded by just people to just kick it to and spread the floor for him and open up the lane so he can have a one-on-one matchup. And maybe that's what they thought Joel was, but I don't think Joel's three-pointer is scary enough to really like spread the floor the way they want it to spread the floor, Shooting 30%, That's 1 out of every 3, barely. So I'm taking my chances. I'm not coming out there, sir.
Jokic's numbers aren't too much better than that from 3.
Jokic's numbers aren't too much better, but Jokic is only averaging 3 to 4 threes a game versus 5 to 6. 5 to 6 threes a game, I need you shooting over 40% because you're firing them things at that point, honestly.
Well, I mean, hey, both teams are in the bubble. Definitely, again, check out the article that started all this. Check out all 6 and the bonus videos that we have on this topic. We're definitely going to have some content for you once everything gets started. We'll definitely have some betting stuff because I know people will be big on that. And, you know, we're happy that the NBA is back. We've been starved. I've been watching TBT and betting on that like a degenerate. But check out all our content again. Subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the website. Check out all the stuff that we have on here. Check out all the other video content we have. And we'll be back soon with another one. Peace.